Hey, welcome Facebook Live. I'm holding my camera today because I want to do something a little different. All right, variety is the spice of life. So you always got to switch it up. I'm just still in my office next to my world map. I like looking at this every day because it inspires me. Because my one of my dreams is to travel the world. So I always look at my map. Hey Miriam, how's it going? So I'm just saying I'm sitting in front of my world map because it always inspires me because my dream is to travel the world. So I like to look at it, and it reminds me that we live in a big world, and that it's good to see it all. So today I want to talk about again, welcome to Daily Motivation, 365 days of consistency, doing the same things over and over and over again till they become habit. Because consistency is a key to success. Now, speaking of keys to success, I want to talk about a speech Miles Monroe did, Dr. Miles Monroe did before he passed. It was such an awesome speech called Personal Power and Prosperity and How to Gain It. And one of the major things he said is one of the keys to success is not to seek success, which sounds counterproductive. It sounds oxymoronic, even. It sounds strange. Like, what do you mean? Like, if I want to be successful, I should be chasing success, right? But to him, that's actually the opposite. Because what we do is when we're seeking success, we tend to cut corners. We can tend to do whatever everyone else is doing so we can follow that breadcrumb. And we do things that are not innately in us to do to find successes, moving up corporate ladders that we can't stand. So many stories I hear of successful people, once they actually reach the success, something had happened in their lives, either a major depression. Doug Nelson actually talked about after he reached success, he actually got into a fire, right? He actually went into a fire in his own house. His furnace blew up after he reaches all the success that he wanted because that wasn't his true success. His true success was to travel the world and speak under T. Harv Eker and help people pursue their money management. But at first he thought, hey, I got the money, I got the job, I'm going to retire, I'm going to sit by the lake. But the universe always has a task for you to do. So he calls the difference between your work and your job. He says, people have a job, but that's not their work. Your work was what you were born to do. And if we pursue what we were born to do, success follows. But if we only do the things that is our job that we think will bring us success, we actually get the opposite. So pursuing something just because of the financial gain, pursuing something because of the status symbol. I remember when I was becoming an engineer, there's only two reasons I became an engineer. One is because of the title. My mom said, ooh, I like the sound of my son's an engineer. So the sound of becoming an engineer was more impressive than actually becoming an engineer. And the money produced by becoming an engineer was more enticing than actually being an engineer because I didn't really have the love for sitting there looking at blueprints, drafting things, checking energies, checking forces and masses and things like that. I found it very boring actually when I was doing it. But what I realized was when I pursued my purpose, my work, the thing that was innately put into me to do, I have fun every day. Like there is no boring days for me. I enjoy what I do. I enjoy writing books. I enjoy writing articles. I enjoy sharing this message. I enjoy speaking. I enjoy it. And so every day becomes an enjoyment. That's how I know I'm doing my work because it energizes me versus the job used to drain me. And he said that's one of the biggest differences you'll know if you're in your job or you're in your work. Because if you're in your work, you feel energized, you feel hype, you hate sunsets. You want the day to go longer. You want to wake up early. Why? Because you can't wait to do that task. Versus when you have a job, you hate when the alarm clock goes up. You can't stand when 3 o'clock comes around, you're like, oh my gosh, is it 5 yet? Has it become 5? And so when you understand that when you're in your work, success follows you. You don't have to chase success. As I do my work, people come to me and say, hey, can I interview you? Hey, can you come on my podcast? Hey, man, I just like to buy your book. People don't even know. Like, hey, man, I just saw your book online. I would like to buy it. People email me and say, hey, man, I really love what you're doing. Keep it up, the good work. Versus when you're in your work or in your job, you're just doing everything just to impress. You're doing things to impress versus the thing to serve. There's a difference between those who reach ultimate success and those who reach so-so success. And what I call so-so success, hey Miriam, hey, I just saw that you're watching. Hey Tiffany, hey Ibaba, Abba. Apologize if I butchered your name there. But when you are in your purpose, you are in your work, success will follow you. Because all success is a progression to a worthy ideal. Earl Nightingale says, success is a steady realization of a worthy ideal. It is not the income. So success is not what's in your bank account. It's what's in your heart. It's with a purpose. You know, I love Miles Monroe's quote. He says, a trumpet on your nightstand is a failure. Because a trumpet's purpose is to blow a note. A bird's purpose is to fly. So a bird that can't fly is a failure. And a human that is not pursuing their purpose in life is a failure. So, and we fail most of the time pursuing success, pursuing the car. I did it for years. I became an engineer. I went through all the schooling. I went through the job market. I did it for years, and I realized I'm not in my work. I'm just doing a job. And where the money did not make sense to me anymore. It's like I feel like I'd rather be broke and be happy than be unhappy and wealthy. So if you are pursuing your purpose, success will find you. When T.D. Jakes speaks, that's in his purpose. He found success. Joel Osteen, he found success. Steve Jobs found success. Why? Because they were doing the things that they were born to do. Like, even when they fired him from Microsoft, he went out to start another digital company. Why? Because it's in him to do. So if you can find what's in you to do, you'll find success. But if you're doing anything because of the money, it's almost the opposite. It's the trickery of life. That when you go after something for something, you usually don't get it. But if you do something for the service and what's in your heart and innately you to do, the money follows. Again, it's a quick short message because I got to get going. But either you could agree with me or not agree with me. But either way, I feel this was a successful conversation. And if you could do this, practice this, ask yourself, why am I doing what I do? And if the only thing that comes up is money, you're wasting your time. And even if you don't see it in a year or two or a month or two, you'll see it. And when you pursue your purpose, at first people will laugh at you. People will say what you're doing is stupid. What you're doing makes no sense. What you're doing will not create success in your life. What you're doing is a waste of time. My parents told me that until they saw me speak on stage once, and they said, okay, all right. So whatever you're trying to do, if you could follow your innate heart of your purpose, that's when you'll find the thing that will catapult you forward. Love is love. I appreciate all of you. Thank you again for watching. Namaste.